Good day, everybody. Hope this finds you well. Today, our subject is, what's it like to work in HR? We've talked about some of the particulars about HR, but a question I often get is, what is it really like to be an HR professional? Even on a daily basis or a weekly basis, what's it like? What's the profession like? So I thought I'd give you a couple of examples or a list of what it's like to work in HR on a daily or weekly basis. First, our primary responsibility is to optimize the potential of our employees. So that rules everything we do. Whether we're trying to hire somebody, evaluate somebody, promote somebody, discipline somebody, the main goal of us in human resources is to optimize the potential of people who work there. So our day has to be directed towards, is this going to raise the performance of our employees? Whether it's a new health plan, whether it is a new plan related to chiropractic, whether it's increasing their pay, it all comes back to, is this going to increase the potential, optimize the performance of our employees? The second thing we do on a daily basis is work with people. It's a people-oriented job. You have to like people. That doesn't mean some people don't, but some people would rather have a job where they get to analyze numbers. I would like to have a job where they work in a desk and they're creating a project or creating some kind of design, and they like to work themselves, and that's totally fine. Everybody has their own comfort level. And so our comfort level is what works best for you. But in HR, it's a people-oriented position. We deal with employees who have issues on their coverage, employees who have issues with their supervisor. We deal with applicants who want to work for our firm but haven't applied yet, and they're interested in how they have to apply. We work with our supervisors, our leaders, who want to figure out how to lower employee costs. It's a people-oriented job, and you really have to not only like working with people, but you want to have this thought that you want to work with people to help them in their life. And I love it, but some people don't, but that's the second. The third is we really spend quite a bit of time giving advice and counsel to people, which means you have to have a degree of credibility, but we spend a considerable amount of time with, in this case, two areas, employees and managers, giving them advice and counsel on a variety of situations, whether it's they're performing at level 3, but they got to get to level 4. Are the budgets coming out for a manager and they're X amount over their budget and they have to reduce some costs, which means do you eliminate this person or that person, reduce expenses related to overtime, or actually lay somebody off? So we spend a lot of time providing this advice and counsel. You hope that you're competent. You hope that you're respected, because as an HR professional, when you give that advice, if you're respected, then it's really going to work out quite well. Fourth is there is a component of our job that's very much about research analysis and making a reasoned judgment. If we're working in labor relations and we're negotiating a new contract, it's about researching what options we have, determining the best option to present to the union, having a fallback position, a contingency plan based on the negotiations, and then coming up with a reasoned judgment that solves the problem. So there's quite a bit associated with human resources, this research and analysis aspect. I tend to like that. I started in my career some years ago as an analyst working for a police department, actually. And so this is right up my alley about I really like having a problem and trying to figure out what are some possible solutions and then recommending the best solution for the issue. Hopefully that gives you a sense of what HR is like today. It's, I think those are fairly common. Differences exist. I certainly like to hear from you what some of the differences would be. But in general, if you want to work in HR and you want to know what a typical HR department does, first thing is their primary and sole, in some ways, consideration is optimizing human potential. We're going to spend time trying to figure out how to make the best out of the employees we have. Second is you work with people on a daily basis, absolute daily basis. So you've got to like people. It's just a must. Third is that you provide advice and counsel throughout your day to management, but also employees. Employees have problems with their managers. And so it's advice and counsel. And if you give great advice and counsel, you're going to be one of the most respected people in the organization. But you spend a lot of time in meetings talking to people and providing advice and counsel. And last, there's a component about research analysis and reasoned decisions. Research analysis, reasoned decisions. Analyzing, researching, and then coming up with the preferred way to go. Those are the 4 things that I see on a daily basis of HR. Again, I'd love to hear from you. Hopefully this is meaningful to you, but we look forward to chatting with you in the next video as well. Enjoy the rest of your day.